Deuteronomy chapter 8. Keep and live out the entire commandment that I'm commanding you today, that you'll live and prosper and enter and own the land that God promised your ancestors. Remember every road that God led you on for those 40 years in the wilderness, pushing you to your limits, testing you so that He would know what you are made of, whether you would keep His commandments or not. He put you through hard times. He made you go hungry. Then He fed you with manna. Sometimes neither you nor your parents knew about anything about, so you learned that men and women don't live by bread only. We live by word that comes from God's mouth. Your clothes didn't wear out, and your feet didn't blister those 40 years. You learned deep in your heart that God disciplines you in the same ways a father disciplines his child. So it's paramount that you keep the commandments of God, your God. Walk down the roads He showed you and reverently respect Him. God is about to bring you into a good land, a land that with brooks and rivers, springs and lakes, streams out of the hills, and though the valleys, it's a land of wheat and barley, of vines and figs and pomegranates, of oil and honey. It's land where you'll never go hungry. Always food on the table and a roof over your head. It's a land where you'll get iron out of the rocks, mine copper from the hills. After a meal, satisfied, bless God, your God, for every good land He has given you. 11 through 16. Make sure that you don't forget God, your God, by not keeping His commandments, His rules, His regulations. I commanded you today. Make sure that when you eat, you are satisfied. Build pleasant houses and settle in. See your hearts and flocks flourish, and more money come in. Watch your standard of living going up and up. and make sure you don't become full of yourself and your thoughts, that you forget God, your God. The God who delivered you from Egyptian slavery, the God who led you through a huge, featuresome wilderness, these dissolutions, age, badlands crawling with fury, snakes and scorpions. The God who gave you water gushing back from the rock. The God who gave you manna to eat in the wilderness, something your ancestors never had. In order to give you taste of the hard life, to test you so that you would be prepared to live well in the days ahead of you. If you start thinking to yourself, I did all this and all by myself, I am rich, it's all mine. Well, think again. Remember that God, your God, gave you the strength to produce all this wealth, so that it is to confirm the covenant that he promised to your ancestors as it is today. 19 and 20. If you forget God, your God, and start taking up with other gods, serving and worshiping them, I'm on record right now as giving you a firm warning that it will be the end of you. I mean it. Destruction. You'll go to your doom. The same as the nation God is destroying before you. Doom because you wouldn't obey the voice of God, your God. Thank you for listening to this chapter, and God bless.